Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the FPLAF with me, Amel, and also my co-host, Stefani Chandra Transdet. And so today marks a special day because we are finally launching our very own the FPLAF official YouTube account where we are going to upload our FPL series starting from this video. So you don't need to switch between both of our accounts anymore. You can just stand by on this one. Okay, sounds good?
Actually,
Good.
good, very good.
Moving on to the video, we are going to discuss our preparation for the upcoming Blank Game Week 18, and we will talk about the fixtures, player recommendations, keep strategy, transfer plan, and also our team selection. So yeah, let's get to it. First up, we have these fixtures for the Blank Game Week 18. And for your information, the Aston Villa versus Spurs fixture might be postponed because Villa has confirmed that several numbers of the players from the first team are tested positive for COVID. So we're not sure if the game will proceed or not. And there's also news that the Fulham versus Spurs fixture that was postponed might be moved to Blank Game Week 18. But since Fulham hasn't played in 2 game weeks due to COVID as well, we're not sure about it either. I guess we'll have to wait for another confirmed news, and we'll be sure to update it to you guys via social media. Yes, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, FPLFF.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. The first fixture of Game Week 18 is Sheffield United against Newcastle United. So let's talk about Sheffield a little bit. I think that we all know that Sheffield form hasn't been good throughout the season because they haven't won any single game since Game Week 1 up to this game week. So if we look at the previous 5 matches, they got 4 losses and also 1 draw. And if we look at the expected goal and expected goals conceded number overall this season per game, we can see that the expected goal is low, just 0.98, and the expected goals conceded is 1.51, which is also pretty big.
Yep.
And looking at the player availability, McBurney, Birch, and also Bird are not available. So yeah, it is concerning for Sheffield attacking option.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking about the player recommendation, I don't think that we have any recommendation from Sheffield because we just don't see how they will, line up to win this game. So moving on to the Newcastle one, I think that form-wise, they haven't been very impressive lately. 3 losses and also 2 draws. And from the expected goal, just 1, and expected goals conceded, it's also pretty like 1.43 per game. And from the player availability, Saint-Maximin is still not available, and Lewis also might not be available, but he might still play as well. But for the player recommendation, we recommend Darlow for the goalkeeper because, playing against Sheffield, he might keep a clean sheet. And also for the forward, we recommend Wilson because if there's any goal for this game, I don't think that there's a lot of goals in this game. But maybe if there is, maybe it comes from Wilson, I guess. So yeah, maybe we're rooting for Newcastle winning this one.
Yeah.
But just a slight win.
Most likely sih. I don't think Sheffield will stand a chance unless there are significant changes on this team. Okay. Now next up we have Burnley against Manchester United. Burnley actually, we thought that Burnley not wins a lot. I think the first 10 matches were not good, but I think last five games actually they are really good. They got 3 wins from 5. Yeah, the expected goals not and considered not so good actually still for them. And actually McNeil, G. Rodriguez, and Tyler are not available for them. So yeah, and they play against Manchester United, who actually their player are most of them are available. The expected goals from them is quite big, and they got 4 wins out of 5 games. So yeah, I think from the stats and based on how Burnley play, I actually really support the Manchester United win for this one, especially on this game week. On this match, Cavani is already available from his 3-match ban. Okay, from us, we recommend 2 players from both sides, so a total of 4. From Manchester United, we have Fernandes and Rashford. They are actually another. I think we know that Son and Kane are one of the couple who produce most goal assists. but
Of course.
Fernandez and Rashford is another one. Yeah, and then for from Burnley side we have Chris Wood and Brownhill. Josh Brownhill. Actually, Josh Brownhill is really interesting because the last he is consistent to have like either 2 or 3 points. So I think if you know have uh, Brownhill along the season, you may produce some decent point lah, like your regular one. Okay. I think that's all for Burnley and Manchester United. Next up, we have Wolf against Everton. I think this is quite a big average match. Wolf actually almost got a win, but they got draw from last game, and their form not really not so good, especially with only one win in last five matches. Against Everton, who actually lost in the last match against West Ham by a goal, but other than that, they always win. Even though I think the last match that they won was kind of ugly win, not a really confident win. Like I think they did not play as well as like the first 3-4 game weeks. Yeah, and then from Wolf, Podence are the not available, and Everton they don't have Digne. Yeah, so I'm not so sure, but I think I will recommend. No, sorry, I will predict that this match either win maybe Everton side by two, just 1 goal margin, maybe 2-1 or 1-0. I don't know. That because Wolf, I think both of them are kind of like stuck in how to produce from chances to goals. Okay, so our recommendation, we have Neto and Saiz. Neto because Neto is the one that can produce assists or sometimes goals, and then Saiz who if somehow Wolf win, they can get the clean sheet from Saiz, and also Saiz is the one who are what do we call an aerial threat. And then I think it was the last match that I forgot that Saiz almost got a goal from a set piece. Yeah, and then from Everton, we recommend the front three: Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, and Rodriguez. If both if 3 of them are available, Everton can especially Calvert-Lewin can be an option because last 4 or 5 matches Calvert-Lewin is not so good lah. Okay, I think that's all. Next up we have City against Brighton. Yeah.
Okay, so City's form, I think we all know that City's form has been impressive lately. They got 3 wins and 2 draws from previous 5 matches. And from the expected goals, it's huge, 1.69 per match. And the expected goals conceded is also pretty low. So we can, invest on their defender for a clean sheet. Based on the player unavailability, they won't be without Torres, Ederson, Laporte, and Ake. But I don't think that it will affect much because from recent forms, I think that City is doing pretty okay with Cancelo, Diaz, and etc. And as for Brighton, I see that we don't really expect that the expected goal is that high, but I think it is because I think that from previous game, even they scored like 3 against Wolves. And so from the expected goals conceded, it's also not that big. It's only 1.10. But from the form guide, they got a lot of draws, 4 draws and also 1 losses from previous 5 matches. But they have problems because they have a lot of players unavailable for the next match, from Welbeck, Lallana, Connolly, Lamptey, and Bissouma. So I think that it will affect pretty much their attacking because, we can, that Brighton can count on Welbeck from previous matches, but since he might be not available on this one, so we recommend Maupay and also Trossard to save them against City.
Yeah.
But also maybe we can recommend Dunk, but since they are playing against City, I don't think that they can keep a clean sheet, so we don't recommend that. And meanwhile, from the Manchester City side, we recommend a lot of players because basically they are all impressive lately.
Yeah.
From KDB, playing Gudoan for differential, or maybe Cancelo for the pretty much obvious choices, Diaz, and also Stones were cheaper options. So yeah, I think that from previous meetings as well, Manchester City scored a lot of goals against Brighton. So I think that we can invest some captaincy option on these City players as well.
That we recommend a lot because yeah, we know how City play. Okay, next up.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Aston Villa and Spurs. I think that most of us think that Villa and Spurs are currently in a similar situation because they are both pretty have a pretty good attacking and defending. And from the previous form as well, Villa got 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And meanwhile, Spurs got 1 win only, 2 draws, and 2 losses as well. But from the expected goals, I think they got pretty big numbers. And meanwhile, from the expected goals conceded, it's a pretty low number. So from player availability, Villa still without Barkley, and meanwhile Spurs is without Lo Celso and also Højbjerg because he suffered from injury from the last game against Brentford. So I think that there won't be a lot of goals in this game because pretty much they have similar style of play and they also defend really well. So I don't think that there will be a lot of goals from this game. But we still have some player recommendations, maybe from Villa, Grealish, El Ghazi, and also Watkins. But we remind you that Watkins can be pretty stressful to have because
Personal
he doesn't
experience.
score much. Yeah, he has a lot of attempts, but he just doesn't seem to be able to score lately. So yeah, he can be stressful to have. Meanwhile, from Spurs, we have Son and Kane as the obvious choices as well.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Arsenal and Crystal Palace. Last 3 games from Arsenal, oh, it's really, what do you call it? It's really promising. Like they can win by 3 goals. Sorry, yeah, by and score 3 goals against Chelsea, win against Brighton, and confident for goals win against West Brom. And they, they show that they want to stay at the league. Okay, and then yeah, that's why the expected goal from them is quite big also. And then from Crystal Palace, I don't think they play, as confident as they were in the first, like the first 5-10. As you can see from the last 5 match, they only got 1 win from yesterday. I think it was against Sheffield United, if I might forgotten. So yeah, expected XG is quite large. Was unavailable from Arsenal. Thomas Partey is unavailable. Gabriel is available. Actually, even though Gabriel is unavailable, they still have Rob Holding, David Luiz. Yeah, and I don't know who's again. From Crystal Palace, this is quite, I think, quite impactful. They don't have Ben Tekes, they have Jeffrey Schlupp, and Milivojevic. Okay, from us, I think we are quite sure that Arsenal can win this one, so that's why we can recommend some of their players such as Bukayo Saka, Tierney, Lacazette, Holding, and also the goalkeeper Leno. I think this the one that can we look up first is Tierney, because you can see when he played against West Brom, they can help Arsenal to do the attacking. Even Tierney score 1 against West Brom. And from the Crystal Palace, we have Zaha and Eze. If in the free kick situation, Eze will be an option for sure to to do the free kick, like Watford from Southampton. Zaha is produced a lot of points from the FPL side, but he is actually not really in form. But I think if he is really in his form, yeah, Zaha can produce some points for you guys, for your FPL team. Okay, so next up for this game week, this is quite a big game week, yeah, for the game week 18 and 19, because I think you guys all know about the blank game week and the double game week. So from this game week 18 strategy, we will give you some, what we think about what you should do for this game week. So the first one is about the free transfer. So when do you do free transfer? First, if you have 6 or more guaranteed starting players, or if you already use free hit or wild card during the COVID situation like this, many uncertainties, like maybe some team got COVID, got COVID outbreak, etc. So yeah, free transfer you should do it just in case for the preparation. Okay, but when do you will use the free hit or wild card? So first one, you can use one of them if you have less than 6 guaranteed starting players. If you are just focused on this game week, should use the free hit. But if you are focused on this game week and the next game week and the upcoming, you should use your wild card. I think most of the players or the FPL managers use free hit. Yeah, every manager has his own strategy. Some managers don't have free hit, so they use wild card. If the managers have wild card, maybe they will use the free hit first. Yeah. Just to be clear, this is not the only blank and double game week, maybe. So if you don't use any of it now, it's okay. There will be another, game week to be optimized to use this. So from myself, I only use one free transfer because I have 2 right now. I will transfer out Podence because I think he's injured right now as of this moment. So replace it with Gundogan. I will do it after the FA Cup because if you have injuries in the FA Cup, you can mess your team. So how about you from the Sony Squash team?
Right. So Sony Squash is doing free hit because at this moment I only have 5 players to play for the blank game week 18. But I'm considering the situation of like the FA Cup or more injuries or more COVID situations, or even if the Spurs against Villa game is still going on or not. So I haven't activated my free hit chip, but I will like on the deadline because I just want to make sure first. But if I'm activating my free hit, I will be targeting players from Manchester United, Manchester City, Spurs, and also Arsenal, because I think that they have the most promising fixtures and also potential clean sheet as well. Okay, let's look at your team first.
Okay, so this is my team. For now, I only have Martinez, Reguilon, Fernandes, Son, Bukayo Saka, and Calvert-Lewin, who's are only available. Okay, how about the Sony Squash team?
Okay, so this is my free hit draft. From the goalkeeper, I have Darlow and also Martinez. But I think that I will start Darlow over Martinez because I think that Newcastle has the better potential clean sheet than Villa against Spurs. And then I think that I will be playing 3-5-2 formation. So currently I have Tierney, Cancelo, Diaz, Mitchell, and Tillman. But I think that I will start Tierney, Cancelo, and Diaz simply because they have better potential clean sheet and also better attacking return, especially from Tierney and also Cancelo. And then for the midfielder, I have KDB, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Son, and also Saka. I think that they all have promising fixtures and promising attacking returns as well. And meanwhile, for the forwards, I have Lacazette and also Wilson. I think that Lacazette is improving a lot, and he has scored 4 from the last 3 matches. I think that he is pretty good to go for this game week. And also for Wilson, I think that he might be the only one who can score in the game Newcastle against Sheffield United. So I think that I will start him as well. So yeah, I think that's all.
Okay. And actually that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave your comment. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe also to our new channel. We will do many things on this channel also. Okay. We'll see you guys on the next videos. Bye bye.